Check, check, audio check. Test, test, audio check. Test, test, 1, 2, 3.
Once again, we'd like to welcome the Maine Endwell Spartans and all their coaching staff. Head coach Matt Gallagher and his assistants John Fraser, Jake Haddock, Will Titus, and Raymond Beard. The officials will name both teams and then take the captains to the center of the field.
Welcome, Facebook Live listeners and watchers. You're watching Black Knight Football. Today we'll watch as Windsor takes on the Maine Endwell Spartans. Spartans coming into this game at 6-0, winning their last game against Norwich 36-14. Black Knights winning their last game 42-36 against the Shenango Valley Warriors. So we'll watch now as Windsor gets hyped up in their huddle, as Maine Endwell won the toss and will be receiving the kickoff.
Yeah, another great night for football tonight, Hunter. Finally got a little cool weather out here. Looks like both teams are pretty fired up. Obviously, Windsor looking to show Maine Endwell what they can do. And Maine Endwell looking to continue on their undefeated streak. And the setup as Kieran Horton prepares for the kickoff.
And of course tonight we have senior night for all the seniors participating in this game. As Kieran Horton sets back for the kick. And we are underway.
Nice kick by Horton.
Bounces about the 20-yard line on the right side of the field. Taken for about 13 yards there. They'll set up the Maine Endwell Spartans at the 33-yard line.
Hey, I was going to say, Hunter, it's the 33. How many games has that been the average?
The Windsor Knights get a turnover, and they'll start on the 34-yard line here of Maine Endwell. So here's Wolcott with the snap, rolling right, looking for a receiver, and caught here by Kieran Horton at about the 25-yard line. Close to a first down. He'll set up a 2nd down and 1 here.
Yeah, nice rollout by Wolcott. You know, obviously that right side rollout he is super confident with, knows his target where Kieran's going to be, and like you said, does not have to be a deep pattern, just a nice out in the flat pattern, enough to get almost a first down. Looks like about, what, 2nd and 1?
Yep, close to a 2nd down and 1 here, maybe a little bit more than a yard. As Wolcott gets the snap, looking left, throwing left to an open receiver, and caught there. That is number 10, David Flora, with a reception. They'll set the Black Knights up with, I believe, a first down here.
Boy, you know, that could be a key offensive strategy tonight. You know, don't go deep. Stay in the flat, you know, that 5 to 7 yard reception. Keep moving the ball and stay confident.
So now setting up here at the 21-yard line of Maine Endwell. Wolcott with the snap and hands it up the middle to Weingartner, who gets stuffed immediately and thrown back. But they'll give him the line of gain at about the line of scrimmage. They'll lose about a yard on that play. Yeah,
a little bit of trouble with the handoff there. Brady was fumbling it just a little bit, and unfortunately that hesitation was a little too long for that ME defense to get through there and stop it. But important thing is he kept a hold of the ball, went down, and they're going to have another shot.
So Wolcott shotgun. Gets a snap, rolling right again. And this time gets pressured immediately and throws the ball down into the turf. Intended for, I believe, David Flora on that play. They'll set up a 3rd down and long here for the Knights on their first possession of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he had enough time coming out immediately on that rollout Just started running laterally, though, and it just gave the defense enough time to break through any offensive blocks and get to him. You know, the key is on that rollout. You know, he's got about 3 to 4 seconds on the rollout. He's got to get rid of that ball, and if he doesn't, the defense is coming after him.
So a big third down here for the Knights, trying to set the tone on this first drive of the game. As Wolcott back in shotgun, Weingartner to his right. As Wolcott rolls right, throwing deep for the end zone, intended for Horton, and catches the ball for the touchdown.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable catch.
Right in the back of the end zone. That ball looked like it was going to be traveling out, but he manages to go up and grab that ball.
Boy, I'll tell you what, great defensive coverage on that. Got to the back of the end zone. It was almost like the ME defensive back just kind of let off thinking, hey, it's going out of bounds. But he still had probably a good foot in, took a jump, caught it, and stayed in bounds. Unbelievable catch, great touchdown.
So after the fumble recovery, a 34-yard drive for the Knights, capped off with a touchdown pass to Horton, as Horton kicks the extra point, and it hits off the upright and manages to go through.
Wow. Hey, Hunter, it's like you and I talked before this game. This is exactly what Windsor needs to have happen. They need to get this momentum, and they need to get it quick. And it looks like they've done so. So can they hold them on defense to be able to get the ball back and make it happen again?
So probably the best case scenario start for the Black Knights, start off this game. Like you said, this defense needs to hold strong.
Yeah. Yeah, because as we know, I mean, ME's going to be, they're going to come out and they're going to want to get back in the end zone themselves. They're not happy that they created that fumble, and they are looking to score.
So Horton lining up here for his second kickoff of the night. And the kick is up and back close to the end zone, taking it the 2. He's down at the 2-yard line, slipped. So everything working right now for the Black Knights.
Boy, I got to tell you what, unbelievable momentum for Windsor right now. Hunter, they need this, I'm telling you. And you can see the heads on some of the ME players. They're starting to hang their heads, and you never want to show that. Windsor's going to try to take advantage of this. Man, great field position for a defensive team. Let's see what they can do.
Again, the score 7-0 Windsor here with 9:57 left in the first quarter. As Maine Endwell gets set for their second possession of the game. Again, Mancini under center. Hands off to the right and taken down for about a gain of 4 yards.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad gain for ME. I mean, they got some big linemen. They opened a great hole, but, you know, Windsor did a great job defensively clogging that hole and getting to their backs. I don't know if they're going to be able to successfully run off tackle tonight against Windsor as long as Windsor can maintain.
It's going to set up a second down and 6 here for the Spartans as they get lined up here. Again, Mancini looking to be under center. And wrapped up by the Black Knights after a gain of about 2. That is, again, number 20. That is, I believe it was number 22, but not 100% sure. Looked like it might have been number 31, Riley Van Fleet.
Yeah, I know. It's a little, with the glare of the lights, a little tough to see the numbers against the white jerseys tonight.
Pardon, that wasn't Van Fleet. That looked to be Matt Pat Raleigh, I believe. Or actually, I'm not 100% sure. These jerseys are pretty difficult to look at for Maine Endwell on the bright lights. As Maine Endwell hands off and stopped immediately by the Knights after a gain of nothing.
Tell you what, defense is doing a fantastic job for Windsor. Hey, off-tackle runs so far for Emmy are not working at all. And you know what? That's the thing, Hunter. They got some huge guys on their line that should be opening up some wide holes. And, hey, I just think Windsor's hungry. They have a taste where they know they can score against an undefeated Maine Endwell team, and it's exactly the momentum they need.
And running that ball was, in fact, Ryan Brozovic. Got a good view of the jersey number there. So setting up a 3rd down and 7 here. Mancini rolls out to the left, looking for a receiver, and the ball is almost picked off there. Ball is almost picked off by number 22, I believe, Noe Yadlowski.
Great defensive play on that. It's going to bring up a 4th down. I believe punt team's coming out. This is exactly what Windsor wants to have.
So defense holding strong like we said they had to do.
I mean, you look at where Windsor's coming towards the end of the season here with a 2-4 record, I believe 2-3 in the league. How nice would it be for the ability to pull another W here and get 3-3 going into Oneonta for the final week? I mean, that could set them up ideally kind of in the middle of the pack for playoffs. So they're hungry. Let's see what they can do.
So Maine Endwell with a punt here. Punt taken at about the 45-yard line, returned by Horton, working his way to the right side of the field, getting to the 40-yard line and getting hit out of bounds at the 38-yard line, I believe. So setting up the Black Knights with their 2nd possession of the game here in Maine Endwell territory.
I was going to say, we'll take the 38 of ME as opposed to the 33 of us.
Yep. So it's crucial for this Black Knights team to score here against Maine Endwell Spartans. 1-score lead is pretty nice, but you know these Maine Endwell Spartans aren't going to give up that easily.
Not at all, but if Windsor can just get the ability to put some more points on the board, I'll tell you what, you know how that momentum swings. You're already starting to see some hanging heads on the Maine Endwell side. You can never give up your ground against a great ME football team, but boy, I'll tell you what, if Windsor can get another score here, whether it's a field goal or whether it's a touchdown, you know, it's going to send the message to Maine Endwell that, hey, Windsor can play football, and they're here for a win tonight.
Again, the score is 7-0 Black Knights with 7:07 left in this 1st quarter. So the Black Knights break out of the huddle here at the Maine Endwell 38-yard line. Again, Wolcott in shotgun formation. Dropping back and looking deep right. Caught that time by number 28, Eric Hunsinger, and dropped down at the 10.
Unbelievable catch by Hunsinger. And let me tell you, when he finally caught that ball, Hunter, and turned, he had a ME defender right there, and he's like, look, I'm a steamroller tonight. I'm going to put you down. And he sure did.
So the officials are going to mark the Black Knights at about the 9-yard line here. So they'll set up a 1st and goal here for the Knights as Jack Beatty enters the huddle. Breaking out again. Wolcott, shotgun, 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Weingartner behind. Wolcott takes it and fakes the handoff to Weingartner and works his way up the middle. Getting about 6 on that play.
Wow, excellent fake by Weingartner. That's exactly what you got to do. You got to sell it, and he sold it great. Had a bunch of ME defenders trying to tackle him. Meanwhile, Wolcott's tucking the ball and running.
That'll set Windsor up here with a 2nd and goal at the Maine Endwell 3-yard line. Again, Wolcott with 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. And fumbled snap, but recovered by Wolcott, so that's definitely not going to help the Knights here. So back down to the 9-yard line. Will set up a 3rd and goal here.
Yeah, not what Windsor wants to have happen, but you know how it is, Hunter. Sometimes you get on that 1-2 yard line, almost seems harder to get in the end zone as opposed if you were back at the 6 or 7.
So big 3rd down here for the Knights as Wolcott gets the snap, looks right, throwing right for Horton, and the ball is batted away. Batted away by number 12, Andy Harris. So good defensive play there by the Maine Endwell secondary. And we'll bring up, I believe, the field goal team here for the Black Knights, as we'll see Horton come back into the huddle, kicking this field goal, I believe. Zach Wolcott down there, setup man here. And the kick is up, and it is no good. Wide left.
Man. Snap came a little high on that. Zach didn't have enough time to set it. Man, that is something that Windsor does not want. To get the ball back, move it like that, get in the red zone, and not to be able to put points on the board. Not something you want to do against a talented ME football team. Because, Hunter, you know, the adjustments are going to get made. It's just a matter of when.
So that was set to the Maine Endwell Spartans here up at the 20-yard line. So, fumbled snap, high fumbled snap, and a missed field goal. Big missed opportunity for the Black Knights.
Yeah, it comes down, hey, they just got to calm themselves down, get focused, have that discipline, and they'll have the ability to do what they need to do. You know, until they got deep into that red zone, everything seemed to be going perfect. Now they're going to have to depend on defense to get the team fired up again, and it's going to be crucial.
So the Maine Endwell Spartans setting up here with their third drive of the game.
5:25 left in the first. Windsor leading 7-0 over Maine Endwell.
Mancini again under center. Motion off to his left as he hands off to the left. A bunch of Windsor defenders there as we have a flag on the play. And this might be against the Spartans. We'll see here.
Well, I'll tell you, Mancini made the cut just at the right time. That hole opened up for him. Boy, he was able to turn the corner and burn, depending on what it was going to be, if it was going to be an offensive holding on ME.
It looks like it's what it will be. Offensive holding against Maine Endwell. Set them up back even farther. Set up a first down and 20 here. So again, good chance for the Black Knights to try to stop them here on this drive.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I said it again. Well, hey, it's because I'm excited, but it's exactly what Windsor needs. They need to be deep in ME territory in order to have a good chance at defense.
Mancini running off to the right. Looks to be an option play as he pitches it off to the left. And tackled for about a gain of 11. And gets about 8 on that play. It's going to be very close to the first down. We'll see what they call here. I believe they're going to mark him just short of the line to gain. Or nope, now they're going to give the signal for the first down.
Yep.
So first down here for Maine Endwell, setting up at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and Mancini's doing a good job. You know what I mean? If he doesn't have an option to pitch or pass, he's tucking that ball and running and finding the hole himself.
Mancini pitches it out to the right side and getting to the 37-yard line. Again, we apologize for not being able to find this ball carrier. They're running off to the right side, opposite of where our booth is, so we can't exactly get the number of this player, so we apologize for that.
A little bit of glare on the windows tonight, folks.
However, we do know that Mancini is quarterbacking tonight. At least we know that.
We do know one player.
Mancini hands off up the middle, and a truck there
Number
And we can see that
44.
Number 44 that time, Josh Chandler, with a big truck there.
Yeah, he went through that hole with a lot of momentum. The Windsor was able to stop him, but I'll tell you what, definitely a few Black Knights went backwards on that hit.
So first 10 here for the Spartans at the 44-yard line. Mancini under center here. Motion to his left. Hands off and fakes the handoff and takes it himself. And gets to the, I believe, the 48-yard line. I'll mark him down at the 49 though. So set up a second down and 5 here.
3:14 left in the first. Windsor leading 7-0 over Maine Endwell, but Maine Endwell is driving.
Mancini again, under center, motion to his right, hands off up the gut,
Up the middle.
and working his way to the sideline, getting to the 30, 20, 10, and touchdown. Maine Endwell Spartans. That number 44, Josh Chandler, will tie this ball game up pending this extra point.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, he got through the secondary and turned on the Jets and was gone down that sideline. And you know what? That was really an off tackle. That was an off tackle run. So, I mean, Windsor's been doing a good job tonight of stuffing that, and tonight it just didn't happen, or on this series.
So a 48-yard touchdown run for the Maine Endwell Spartans. And we will see what the Spartans will do. It looks like they're going to attempt to go for 2 points here as Mancini pitches off to the right. And getting in for the 2-point conversion are the Maine Endwell Spartans. So they will take the lead here, 8-7.
2:43 left in the first. All right, a little shift in momentum here. Windsor's got to come back out strong on this one. They did a great job on the last series getting down into Emmy's red zone, but they got to convert points here. You know, Hunter, you knew it wasn't going to be long. You know, Emmy was going to look at some of that defense and make some key adjustments. As they did on that series, they were able to move the ball and then finally broke one away. And not only got in the end zone, but went up.
So back to receive this kick from Maine Endwell, Jack Beatty, Kieran Horton.
And again, 2:43 left in the first. Maine Endwell leading over the Windsor Black Knights 8-7. So we got a close game, a good football game here. Both teams seem to be able to move offensively on each other. Let's see what Windsor can do.
And kicking the ball here for the Spartans, Giancarlos Gonzalez here. As the ball is up, and the ball is going to roll out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So that'll set up Windsor with some favorable field position here.
Well, Hunter, it's not the 33. I would have liked that one better, but Windsor's doing a pretty good job with the pass plays tonight. Let's see, they got a little bit of a distance to go to get down to where they need to be and see what they can do.
Got the score 8-7, Maine Endwell Spartans, 2:43 in this first quarter. As the Knights break out for their third drive of this game. Wolcott again in shotgun formation, 3 receivers to his right as he hands off to Weingarten, who gets stuffed immediately at the line. Maybe got a half a yard on that play.
Yeah, that's a situation that's going to be difficult tonight if the blocking assignments can't be tight. Running game's going to be almost non-existent on the inside for Windsor. They're either going to have to stick to the air or look to outside options for running.
So I'll set up a second down and 9 here for the Black Knights at the 36-yard line. Wolcott with the snap, rolling right, Passing for Horton as he fumbles the ball, but it looks like he recovers the ball, and he does recover, so very close play there for the Knights. Luckily, though, Horton able to recover his own fumble.
Yeah, that could have turned momentum real quick. But hey, Hunter, again, that short little pass in the flat. Look at, I mean, you gained what? 6, 7 yards on it? You know, you're almost close to a first down. If it works, keep driving with it.
Keep driving until the defense keys you on it.
Well, right.
And we have a penalty, and that's going to be, I believe, offsides against Maine Endwell.
Yep, that's where the discipline comes into play. And, you know, Windsor's done a good job with that this year.
I was about to say.
You know, I mean, it's been multiple games they've utilized that to gain first downs with. They just got to tighten it up when they get in the red zone.
So Wolcott here. Shotgun with a 1st and 10 at their own 49 as Wolcott tries to take it up the middle and works his way to the 40, 35, 30. A huge run there from Wolcott. Didn't see anything and decided to take off himself.
And just like that, they're back in ME territory again. They are answering the call back, Hunter, that they can play football against this 6-0 ME team, that's for sure.
You just got to finish. So, Knights set up here at the Maine Endwell 29-yard line. Again, like we were talking about before, penalties. Windsor's done a great job this season not getting penalties and backing themselves up. As Wolcott gets the snap and takes it himself to the left side. And still on his feet. Very close to a first down. Maybe got 8 yards on that play. And now 9 yards they're going to mark him at the Maine Endwell 21-yard line.
I'll tell you, Brady's doing a good job selling that handoff. And Emmy is right through the line to meet the running backs. And as long as he's able to sell it to get the focus on him, Wolcott can kind of pull that ball and run and do a good job. And we're looking at almost another first down within a couple of yards.
So Wolcott again in shotgun formation. Rolling to the right and passing right and caught by, I believe,
Eric Hunsinger.
Eric Hunsinger on that play.
Yep.
And again, Windsor Knights set up in the red zone, this time at the 5-yard line as time is expiring.
Yeah, 19.3 seconds left.
And we'll see what the Black Knights do, whether they take this into the second quarter or try to get a playoff.
Always utilize time. That's what I would do, because all of a sudden you're at the end of the game and you're wishing you had that 20 seconds back.
About 2 seconds left on the clock as they get the playoff. Looking right and overthrowing his man, intended for Jack Beatty. That will end this first quarter as both teams head off to their respective sidelines, and we will be back as soon as the second quarter begins. Welcome back as we begin this second quarter. The Black Knights driving here, the 5-yard line with a 2nd and goal. As Wolcott again in shotgun, receiver to his left and right. dropping back and looking right, and a great play by the Maine Endwell defensive back. Dove in
Absolutely.
front of that ball.
Absolutely. Maine Endwell is saying, no, Windsor, you are not scoring on us again. Windsor's doing a great job moving that ball and getting into that red zone.
As soon as they get there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is look, for the most part, you can count on Horton's foot getting 3 points, but Windsor doesn't want to go with 3 points. They want to get 6.
So a third down and goal here at the 5 for the Black Knights. Again, Maine Endwell up 8-7 as Wolcott looking left and throwing left and thrown too far wide for his receiver, Jack Beatty, that time, and the Black Knights will send out the field goal unit.
Yeah, let's hope this time that they can put it up there and get 3. Again, Windsor doing a great job every series of being able to move the ball. But it's almost a situation, Hunter, where it's like when one of those key passes happen midfield and they run the majority of the way down, they have to get in the end zone. Because once they're in the red zone, other than the first series, they have not been having success getting the TDs.
So Horton's second field goal attempt of the night. This time from 22 yards out. This time the kick is up and good. That's more like what we're used to seeing from Horton as he gives the Black Knights back the lead 10-8 with 11:46 left in the second quarter.
We almost got to install a mirror that we can put on the window that reflects that scoreboard so we can see it right in the mirror. All right, Hunter. Windsor's going back on defense. Can they do it? Can they hold them? Can they create that crucial mistake of Emmy to get the ball back? One thing I notice, they are doing a lot of hacking trying to get that ball. Any of those running backs, I see a lot of Windsor Black Knight hands in there trying to strip it.
So the Black Knights kicking off here. Horton dropping back for the kick. The kick is up and taken out at the 15-yard line. Working his way back to the middle of the field is the Maine Endwell returner and getting thrown down at the 24-yard line. Something two.
Is it 22? It's 22, Hunter.
22, that's Ryan Brozovic.
Great tackle, right? Not high, not low. Grabbed that Emmy returner and, was able to get him down. And hey, we're not at the 33.
So Maine Endwell trying to respond after the field goal from the Black Knights here. As Maine Endwell slow to get to the line. Don't know what the delay is as the officials get ready. Mancini under center. Motion off to his right. Hands off to the right and tackled after a gain of about 6 on that play.
Yeah, a lot of room right there.
That I believe number 44, Josh Chandler, set up a second down and 4 here for the Spartans.
And with 11:18 to go in the second, Windsor leading Maine Endwell 10-8. But Maine Endwell's driving once again.
Mancini, motion off to his right, hands off right, and it is handed off to, again, Chandler. Gets about 2 on that yard. It's going to set up a 3rd and 1 here for the Spartans.
It was nice for Windsor's defense. Chandler's a powerhouse. I mean, if he could break a few, he's gone. So the fact that he was met at the line of scrimmage and taken down is great for Windsor's defense. Now they just got to keep it there.
So So 3rd down and 1 here, as Maine Endwell has the ball at their own 30.
I don't think they got it.
The officials are going to give them a favorable spot, though, and that looks like it's going to set them up for a 1st down. Wow. Yeah, I agree with you. It didn't look like he was that close to the 1st down, but the officials do give it to him. They'll set up a 1st down for the Spartans at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, key play for Maine Endwell when they're that close. But boy, I thought Windsor met them pretty good there. It looked like there was a lot of tug of war on that line.
Mancini again, the motion off to his right. This time is passing, throwing deep, and got his receiver. Caught in the sideline, cutting back to the middle of the field, working his way to the 30, working to the 20, and getting tackled at around the 11-yard line.
Great pass, great reception. He had nothing but field to work with. The one thing we know with an ME team that's 6-0, they're going to answer the call tonight.
Look to be Riley Van Fleet with the reception there, and it'll set up the Maine Endwell Spartans here in Windsor territory at the 11-yard line.
He was wide open, wide open.
Mancini again, shotgun, hands off to the right and wrapped up immediately, or never mind, he kept the ball. It looked like the ball was in the running back's hand, and Mancini just grabbed it right back after he was tackled and ran for a couple extra yards. Got about 4 or maybe 3 or 4 on that play, so we'll set up a 2nd down and 7 here for the Spartans.
That was a great plan B by Mancini, and he was able to move for some positive yardage. Windsor's defense, I mean, they need a key play here.
Mancini again, under center, rolling right, and he is going to be brought down at the 11-yard line. Tackle made by number 56, Colin Conklin.
Colin was right behind him, and Mancini never even realized he was looking out at his option back, looking towards the end zone, and here came Colin and dragged him right down from behind.
So it's going to set up here a 3rd and 10 for the Spartans. Back now to the 11-yard line where they were previously. So big stop here for Windsor if they can get it. Mancini, again under center. Motion to the right as he takes it himself to the left side, and
intercepted.
It's picked. Going down this sideline, working his way to the 20, the 30. I believe that was Brady Weingartner with the interception.
I think Brady said to himself, you know what? If I'm going to get stuffed trying to run the ball tonight on offense, I'm going to make a play defensively. And he certainly did. Again, big momentum shift for Windsor. They absolutely needed that. And Brady finally felt good getting some yards. Crowd's starting to get fired up too, something we haven't heard in quite some time.
Again, the score 10-8. Black Knights with 7:53 left in this 2nd quarter. The Knights now have the ball at their own 30-yard line as they try to get some more points and extend this lead. Wolcott looking to the left, throwing left, and the ball is short, intended for Flora. Looked to be pretty somewhat open on that play. The ball just didn't make it to him, though.
He was open, but, you know, again, Zach's, you can definitely tell he's comfortable on a right side rollout. He's cross-body on the left side rollout. Ball always tends to be a little short, throwing off the back foot. You know, it's almost like the receiver needs to expect that that ball's going to be short on that.
So 2nd down and 10 here, again, at Windsor's own 20-yard line. Wolcott with 3 receivers off to his left, 1 on the right. Weingartner behind. And rolling out to the left and throwing deep left to an open receiver. David Flora makes the catch.
Unbelievable catch. And he was wide open, wide open.
setting up the Black Knights in Maine Endwell territory. And we have a flag on the play. And we'll see who this is going to be against. It looks like it's going to be against the Knights. And it's going to be a hold against the Knights. So a big play negated there by the penalty. Very unfortunate there.
Yeah, not a flag you want to have happen on a big momentous play. But Windsor did get the ball back from Maine Endwell, and boy, he got a second down and a lot of yards to make up.
I believe on a holding it should be a second down and 20, but it looks like they're going to mark him 2 yards farther, so it's going to be a second down and 22. Wolcott with the snap, throwing deep up the middle to a Kieran Horton as the ball is picked off. Ball picked off that time by number 22, Ryan Brozovic. And the Maine Endwell Spartans will get the ball back here at the 47-yard line.
So just like that, Emmy answers and says, hey, we're going to get a pick off of our own. And, you know, it was a beautiful straight-line bullet that Zach Wolcott threw. Just a great play by Emmy's defense.
So the Maine Endwell Spartans will have the ball in Windsor territory here, again at the 47-yard line, as they try to regain the lead, down 10-8 with 7:19 in this first half. Mancini under center, motion off to his right, and he takes it himself and pitches off to the right, and the ball is fumbled, and it looks like Maine Endwell recovered, but
not before there wasn't 3 or 4 Black Knights right on top of him.
Exactly. That ball was pitched out to Josh Chandler, but couldn't handle the ball and dropped it. So it'll set up a 2nd and 12 here.
And I'll tell you what,
Spartans at the 49.
Chandler was wide open on that pitch, that option pitch too. If he would have been able to tuck that thing in, I mean, he was at least good for 5 to 7 yards on that before anybody from Windsor was going to touch him. So key defensive win for Windsor on that.
Mancini again under center, this time a direct snap off to the left side and bowling his way. Saw a number 7 on the jersey. We'll see what the first number was. I believe that was Michael Smith on that carry. Set up a 3rd and 5 here for the Spartans. Again, another big stop is what the Black Knights need here.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, we going to go for that key pass play again, or are we going to look for an option for Chandler?
And we have a timeout by the officials, and it'll be taken by the Spartans before the play is snapped. And we will be back after this timeout. And we are back after Maine Endwell's first time out as they set up here with a 3rd and 5 at the Black Knight 42-yard line.
Putting the plan together, Hunter. They're putting the plan. They got a 3rd and 5.
Mancini hands off to the right side and getting stopped close to the first down, but they're going to mark him short. And we'll see what the Spartans decide to do here on this 4th down.
We're talking 4 and 1. What will they do? I don't know. Something's telling me I think they're going to go for it.
Something tells me they're going to try to go for it on this
I don't
one.
see a punt team coming out. I think their confidence is, hey, look, if we could just move 3 yards on that play, it shouldn't be too difficult for us to move a yard. But you know what? Wow. Windsor could step up here huge on defense and make a key play. Start to hear the Windsor crowd getting fired up.
Mancini under center. Pitches off to the right side. Got some Black Knight defenders, but can't grab him as he makes his way to the 27-yard line. So initially it looked like we had some Black Knights defenders there on, but
boy, I'll tell you, that's the key with that outside run. If you got speed, as long as you can cut the corner, you're going to go where you need to go. And they had some good blocking against the Black Knight defense there, and he was able to, number 22 was able to cut the corner, get the yards he needed for the 1st down and more.
So it'll set up a 1st and 10 here for the Spartans at Windsor's 27-yard line. Score 10-8. Windsor with 4:59 left in this 2nd quarter as Mancini takes himself to the right side and gets taken down after a gain of about 6 on that play. Set up a 2nd and 4 here.
Hey, I mean, great gain by Mancini. You can't go wrong with 6 yards. That's not really what Windsor wants to see. You know, if anything, I'd be comfortable with a 2 or 3 yard per carry gain. But when you start getting that 6 or 7, that's going to take up time and drive ME down the field, and that's not what Windsor wants.
Mancini again, under center, gets the snap and hands off to the right side, and stopped immediately by the Black Knight defenders. That was 44 Josh Chandler, but it looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st down at first, but the officials are going to put it back just a little, and it'll be a 3rd and inches here.
Boy, he's a big boy, and Windsor's been doing a good job tonight of stopping him.
So 3rd and inches here for the Spartans as they try to respond after the last field goal from the Black Knights. Mancini with a motion off to his left, hands off, takes it himself actually, and gets wrapped up with a gang of Black Knight defenders at about the 10-yard line. So set up a 1st and goal here for the Spartans with 3:33 left in this 1st half.
Emmy's doing what it wants to do. You know, obviously they're down a little bit. They're looking like they're ready to get back in that end zone, but they're going to just keep driving the ball all night long, little by little. Just keep getting that 1st down.
Mancini again under center. And the ball again is similar to that other play, except this time Mancini doesn't take the ball from his running back, as the running back was wrapped up at the line. No gain on that play. We'll set up a 2nd down and goal here at the 10-yard line for the Spartans.
Windsor's doing a good job. Both teams are doing a great job defensively in the red zones. And no different here. I mean, Windsor wants to not allow ME to put 6 on the board.
Mancini motion to his left as he hands off left and getting wrapped up and taken down at close to the 5-yard line. Again, Josh Chandler. So a 3rd and they'll mark him now at the 4th. 3rd and goal here at the 4.
Key play here, key play.
See if Windsor can come up with a stop or a possible turnover. If not, Maine Endwell can either go in the end zone, kick a field goal. Either way, they will take the lead if they do either of those options. Mancini hands off to the left side, and we've got someone there tackling as the ball came out. And we'll see recovered. Looks like it's going to be recovered by the Spartans. And it looked like there was a very obvious hold on that play, didn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty Especially, it was right near the ball carrier. You would have figured an official would have seen that, but they let it go. So it'll set up a 4th and goal at the 9-yard line.
So the question is, are they going to try a field goal, Hunter, or are they going to try to go for it here?
At this point, I would think you would want to go for the field goal. You take that 1-point lead. Depend on your defense to stop the offense, but
1:13 left in the half. Clock is ticking. Windsor leading 10-8 over Maine Endwell. Maine Endwell knocking on the door of the red zone, now taking a timeout with a 4th down, 4th and goal. Are they going to do a field goal, or are they going to put a plan together, try to put 6 on the board before this half comes?
We will find out the answer after we come back after this Maine Endwell timeout. And we'll see what they do. It looks like they're going to line up to try and go for it, which I find surprising. But Maine Endwell must be pretty confident as we have another timeout, this time taken by the Black Knights. Seeing that Maine Endwell decided to go for it on 4th down, and we will be back after this Black Knight timeout.
All right, we're back once again. Windsor taking the field on defense. Again, we're looking at our time. We got 1:04 left in the half. Windsor leading Maine Endwell 10-8. Maine Endwell knocking on the red zone with a 4th down and goal. Deciding not to field goal, but they're going to go for it.
Mancini rolls off to the right, looking for a receiver. Throws to the back of the end zone, and the ball is touchdown. Caught. It looked like it was incomplete for a second, but it was caught. It was good defensive pressure.
Wow, great play by Maine Endwell. You know, there was Windsor defenders there, but just good discipline and focus by the receiver to be able to get that. You know, Mancini rolled out to the right, turned to the left. It almost looked like Alabama play when they played Georgia in the national championship.
They used some kind of a diversion, rolling off to that right side with 2 receivers and throwing back to the left side of the field. But it still looked like the Black Knights had some defenders on him. It's just they weren't able to bat that ball out of the air, pick it off, and it went right to the Maine Endwell receiver as Maine Endwell goes for 2 here and pitches the ball out to the right and will be in for the 2-point conversion.
Yep.
That is number 22, Ryan Brozovic. So
you can't go wrong with the pitch option. You just can't. Because when your quarterback's in trouble and you got a running back wide out, and as long as they're blocking on the defense, that option is always going to work.
So Maine Endwell takes the lead here, 16-10, with 58 seconds left in this first half. Again, Windsor will be getting the ball after the half.
Let's see what they can do in the short amount of time they have. I mean, Windsor has to answer. They've been able to drive the ball, but they have to get sixes. They can't settle for threes here. To stay in this ball game, which it's only a one-score game, I realize that. But against a team like Maine Endwell, you know there's going to be adjustments coming out of the half. And for Windsor to stay strong within this game, they have to start getting sixes.
And with 58 seconds left in this quarter, it would be very difficult to score a touchdown. We'll see if the Black Knights try to at least get in field goal range. Again, they get the ball at the half. And if they can at least kick a field goal there, they will tie this game up. As we have a squibber kick taken at the 27 and returned by Horton as he works his way to the 47-yard line. So,
boy, I thought he had a wide open. Option to run again and actually give it to the left side running back because that was wide open. There was no white on that side at all.
As Windsor takes their second timeout of the half. Usually we would take a break at this time, but being under a minute.
Quick.
We've seen these Maine Endwell defensive backs have been playing a great game so far. Like that laser pass you were talking about deep down the field was intercepted.
It was.
So we'll see what the Black Knights do here as Wilcott gets the ball, rolls to the left side, throwing deep left, and diving attempt by David Flora. The ball was nowhere catchable for him, but a nice attempt there by Flora. Set up a 3rd and 11 here for the Knights.
You know, the thing is with time left, you don't want to give it back to Emmy with a few seconds left. I mean, sometimes, again, maybe a great option is throwing out on that flat and getting out of bounds, trying to move it a little as opposed to going the entire distance right away.
Wilcott dropping back, looking left and throwing that flat to Maine Endwell takes their final timeout, trying to get that time left on that clock. They line up back for the punt return as Windsor gets out. Kieran Horton back to punt. Low snap, manages to handle it, and a very good punt there by Horton. and was never fair caught and taken down at the 10-yard line is the Maine Endwell returner there. That's number 27, Michael Mancini. Welcome back. We are back after halftime. Again, like we said before, the Black Knights will be getting the kickoff here. Again, down 10-16.
Yeah, Windsor needs to come out with a bang here in the new half. You know that Emmy's made some defensive adjustments, and Windsor's going to have to get creative with their offense. Like we were discussing before, I mean, we've had some great success with short pass plays on the flat. And you know what, man, you can move yards that way, Hunter, and that's kind of the way to move the ball against a 6-0 tough Emmy state-ranked football team.
So back to return for the Black Knights are Jack Beatty, Kieran Horton, and J.J. Latimer. As Giancarlo Gonzalez gets ready to kick the ball off here to start the second half. As Maine Endwell gets in formation. And the Black Knights moving up. And the kick is a line drive kick up the middle. Returned by the Black Knights, going to the 40, 45, and dropping down at about the 46-yard line. So that's where the Black Knights will start here in the second half.
Emmy going squibber coming right out in the new half. So how's Windsor going to answer, Hunter? What do you think?
I am not 100% sure, but hopefully we'll be able to score a touchdown here, take the lead by 1, and put some pressure back on that Maine Endwell offense. So Wilcott, shotgun formation. It's the drop back, throws, and it looks like it was an incomplete pass down off to the left side, intended for Tyrone Franklin. The ball was a little underthrown there.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to him.
It was very close, but at least from my perspective, it looked like it might have bounced on the turf.
Well, good option as we discussed, right? That flat pass seems to be open. You have the ability to move the ball until they get the running game going. I think it's a good strategy for Windsor to do.
So that incomplete pass will set up a second down and 10 here at the Black Knight 46-yard line. As Wilcott gets the snap, rolls left, throwing deep up the middle for an intended receiver, David Flora, as the Black Knights looking for a flag on that play, but it looks like they're not going to get it. Again, that secondary for the Spartans doing their job.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is not the way Windsor wants to come out and approach their first offensive series in the half. They have to answer back against this very talented Emmy defense. They were able to do it in the first half, but Emmy made some good adjustments.
So third and long here for the Black Knights as Wilcott is rolling left, throwing left, and the pass again low, intended for Tyrone Franklin on the left side, and the Black Knights will set out the punting unit.
One of the difficulties, again, Wilcott's very comfortable rolling out to the right-hand side. Left-hand side, though, he's going cross-body, and he just doesn't look comfortable rolling out to the left.
So a 3-and-out here for the Black Knights to start off the second half. Like you said, not exactly what they wanted to do here, as they're going to kick it off to that ME offense that has been doing some damage against the Black Knights. Horton with the punt. Very nice punt there. And it's going to go out of bounds. They're going to mark him down at the, mark it at the 20, and they're moving up the 27-yard line here. So, decent punt there from Horton.
Yeah, and with 11:28 in the third quarter left to play, Emmy over Windsor 16-10. So Windsor's got to answer defensively on this series, Hunter. They need to create that mistake so they can get that ball back.
So Maine Endwell with their first possession of this second half has a motion off to the right, hands off and fakes the handoff, takes up the middle as Mancini gets about halfway down there, set up a 2nd and 5 here for the Spartans.
Yeah, the hole's open enough where, getting 5 yards to carry, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, there you go again, what we talked about in the first half. ME just slowly chipping away little by little by little, continuously getting that first down and driving down the field. Meanwhile,
It's about 6 on that play. So set up a 2nd down and 4. Now in Windsor territory at the 49-yard line. As Maine Endwell is trying to extend this lead, again up 16-10 with 10:07 left in this 3rd quarter.
yeah, and they're very successful moving the ball. I mean, you're going 5-6 yards a carry.
Mancini initially looked like he was going to hand off and decided to take it himself, which didn't look to be the best option as he gets wrapped up after about a half yard on that play. It'll set up a 3rd and 3 here.
First favorable play for Windsor's defense in this series.
So 3rd and 3 here at the 48-yard line of Windsor as Maine Endwell tries to convert here on this 3rd down. Mancini again under center. Straight snap and taken up the middle and working his way to the right side, getting to the 30, 20, 10, and touchdown at the moment, but we have a flag on the field, and we will see who this is against. Officials are going to, I believe, call it against Maine Endwell.
Oh, that's tough for Maine Endwell. I mean, look, good news for Windsor on that, but tough for Maine Endwell because that was a hard-earned run and a nice 6 points for them.
So that'll move Maine Endwell back, barring what would have been a 48-yard touchdown run.
Oh, Hunter, crucial mistake for Maine Endwell. I mean, you cannot have that lack of discipline, especially as they progress into the season against some more talented teams. They just have to stay focused. That should have been 6 points on the board for them all day long.
So now a 3rd down and 4 here for the Spartans. Mancini again under center. And hands it off to the right side and getting enough for the 1st down is the Maine Endwell Spartans. That taken by number 22, Ryan Brozovic. So after not scoring that touchdown, negated by that penalty, they do manage to pick up the 1st down and move the change, and they will set up here at the 44-yard line of Windsor.
Yep, meanwhile, just chewing time off the clock. 8:56 left in the 3rd. With ME up 16-10 over Windsor.
Mancini motion off to his right, takes it himself, pitches it off to the right side, and staying in bounds at the moment, and then being pushed out at about the 39-yard line. I believe that was Ryan Brozovic again with the carry. Set up a 2nd and 6 here.
Yeah, the blocking assignments for ME, I mean, they've been very good tonight, especially on that outside option pitch, and it's just unbelievable when in a sense a quarterback's pitching behind them, and they're still getting great yardage.
So Maine Endwell here, Mancini hands off to the left side. 2 Black Knight defenders there to make the tackle. And we'll see where they mark him. It's going to be a 3rd down either way here. It'll be a 3rd and about a 1.5 yard and maybe a yard and a half here for the Spartans at the 35-yard line.
Third down and 1 ball at the Windsor 30.
Grind those yards out to keep getting those first downs.
Mancini fakes the handoff, looking to pass. Doesn't see anybody and runs to the right side and tackled in the backfield there by number 22, Noe Yadlowski. Big play there for the Black Knights. And that's going to drop Maine Endwell back about 5-6 yards.
Yeah, Windsor needs to have a couple of plays like that. Unfortunately, on the running game, ME's got some big boys up front that they can open those holes to get their backs through. And Windsor did a great job of plugging those off-tackle holes in the first half, but having a little trouble.
He hands it off up the gut, but the Black Knights are ready for it.
Well, good for the Black Knights defense, which is going to bring up a fourth down. But you know and I know that ME's not going to bring out a punt team here. I mean, you know, obviously they're in field goal range, but you know they're going to go for it.
So Maine Endwell loses maybe 2 on that play. Set up a fourth and 6 here. And like we said, we'll see if Maine Endwell goes for it here. Again, 6 is a pretty far distance to go here, but Maine Endwell has been able to do it all night here, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their runs are between that, you know, that 5 to 7 yards.
Mancini dropping back to pass, looking right to a
wide
open receiver. Wide open receiver. Horton was there on the coverage, and the pass was caught by, can't get a number on there. Again, off on that right sideline. Very difficult to see who that was.
Tough for Windsor. All that work on defense, and ME has somebody wide open with not a single Windsor defender on him in the flat.
I believe that was number 24, Austin Baker, on that reception, and set Maine Endwell up with a first down here at the 15-yard line of Windsor. Mancini under center. And takes it himself, and he's going to get a couple yards, maybe 5 on that play. Again, it's happened multiple times in this game where it looks like he's going to hand off to the running back and just takes it away from him. And the running back doesn't look like he wants to give it up that easily.
He stays on his feet. He chops left. He chops right. Jumps up in the air, chops a little bit more, and he gets some positive yards out of it.
So a 2nd and 5 here at the Black Knight 10-yard line for the Spartans. Mancini again under center here. Motion off to the right. Hands off to the right and getting wrapped up for close to a first down. We'll see how the officials mark this. They're going to mark him, it looks like, just short. Set up a 3rd and centimeters.
Yeah. 4:19 or 4:16 at this point left in this third quarter, and the majority of this quarter, ME has burnt the clock on this offensive drive. Just chipping away, and into the red zone, ready to hopefully score. And I think they want to make up for that long run that got called back.
And now the officials are going to give Maine Endwell the first down here at the 5-yard line. So first and goal here for the Spartans at the 5. As Mancini, again under center here. Hands it off to the left side and bowling his way through for about 3 or 4 yards on that carry. I believe that was number 32, Matt Fernan. So a second and goal here at the 2 and second down and goal at the 2 here. Probably in between the 2 and 3, I would say, but again, Maine Endwell knocking on the door here to score.
Oh yeah, just keep driving it.
Mancini hands off to the left and in the end zone.
Oh yeah,
for a Maine Endwell touchdown. That is number 31, Riley Van Fleet with a carry. And that 2-yard touchdown run will extend Maine Endwell's lead 22-10, barring this extra point or 2-point attempt.
Yeah, Windsor's got to come back. They got to answer back. They look a little deflated out there, look a little out of gas. I mean, that's the key with third and fourth quarter play, right? You got to be conditioned to play this game.
As Mancini takes it himself and getting tackled, not enough for the 2-point conversion, so the score will remain 22-10. Maine Endwell Spartans and the Black Knights will be getting the ball back. You're down by 12.
Yeah, time to answer back to get back in this football game. Defensive did the best they could, but they look like they're out of gas.
So again, back to return for the Black Knights. It's Kieran Horton, Jack Beatty, and J.J. Latimer. Beatty talking with Horton, maybe getting a little, maybe trying to hype each other up a little bit. Of course, being down now by 12 points, like you said, this third quarter hasn't been very friendly for these Knights.
No, not at all. Not at all. And the thing is like we talked about before, man, you got to have focus, you got to have discipline, you got to have conditioning. All three of those need to work together with, the end result, which is desire. And that's just the desire to be able to move that ball and get in the end zone. And Windsor can still play in this game, but they need to answer on this series.
Giancarlo Gonzalez here with the kickoff. A line drive kick taken at the 30-yard line by the Knights. And staying on his feet and working his way to the 52-yard line is Zach Adornato. So a good return there for the Black Knights. Sets them up in Maine Endwell territory.
Oh, yeah. Zach has unbelievable speed and could be an ultimate outside attack option for Windsor's offense. I mean, the thing is with Emmy doing offsides kick, they're giving Windsor ideal field position. Windsor just needs to capitalize that. Not try to go to the end zone on the first play, but just chip away at it.
Wolcott, snap, throwing quick to the right side to Horton, and Maine Endwell was all over that one. Wrapping him up for a loss of 1. Not the play that the Black Knights wanted to start off this drive.
Nope, but ideally, the defensive play that ME wanted.
So 2nd and 11 here, now at midfield. As the Black Knights break out of the huddle. Caught back and shotgun, through receivers to his left, one on his right. Weingartner at running back as he rolls out to the left, throwing deep to the left, and that ball is picked off by Maine Endwell. And working his way to the right sideline and breaking some tackles and finally getting pushed out at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it makes it tough. I mean, like I said, rolling out to the left, throwing crossbody is difficult for Walcott. He's much more comfortable doing a rollout to the right. And, you know, here we go again, talked about the strategy. You know, short and sweet might be the key to chipping away the clock and getting down there. But trying to go for the gusto to the end zone.
And that interception made by Ryan Brozovic. And like you were saying, that pass was a little bit underthrown. The receiver was ahead, but the defensive back, all he had to do was just turn his head, and that ball was right to him. Mancini dropping back for a pass. Deep pass up the middle to a wide-open receiver at the 10, and in the end zone are the Spartans.
Well, it looks like at this point, Emmy is going to start walking away with this. Windsor's got to refocus and figure something out here because right now I'm not seeing it.
I believe that was to number 27, Michael Mancini. So Spartans take no time to respond after that turnover from the Black Knights. And on the first play of that drive, just immediately score that touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Mancini
tossing off to the right side and getting in, or very close to getting in. We'll see how they mark. And they're going to say he does not get the conversion. So the score will remain 28-10, Maine Endwell, with 1 minute 55 seconds left in this third quarter.
Yeah, obviously you see the momentum's kind of shift on the Windsor side. Got some heads hanging. You know, they need to regroup themselves and get back into this game.
Definitely. So Maine Endwell coming out with their special teams unit. After that 44-yard touchdown reception by Michael Mancini. Again, back to return. We got Jack Beatty, Kieran Horton, as well as J.J. Latimer. Giancarlos Gonzalez again with the kickoff here. Another quick squibber that is recovered by the Black Knights at the 47-yard line. That covered up by Mikey McDaniels. So good job not having that bounce off and go back into the hands of Maine Endwell. So the Black Knights now down by 18 points. Need to desperately score here.
Yeah, not the direction that you want to see them go, because this is a team that can play with this Emmy team. And
as Wolcott hands off to Weingartner, working his way to the middle of the field and on the right side and getting tackled at the 46-yard line of Maine Endwell, setting up a 2nd down and 3 here.
Great run by Brady there, and it was nice to finally see a change in play series. He's got some speed, and he broke a couple of tackles and made some great yardage on that.
Again, Wolcott, shotgun, 3 receivers to his left, 1 on the right. Snap, and handing it off, and getting dropped immediately were the Black Knights there. And that was again Weingartner on the carry. Not the same result they got on that last play. It'll set up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I mean, apparently not a play you're going to run every time against a strong defensive line of Maine Endwell, but you know, something that you got to throw in the mix there every once in a while, other than pass play.
Wolcott, snap, dropping back, looking to the right, and overthrew his receiver, intended for Eric Hunsinger, and I'll set up a 4th down and 2 here. And you got to think, being down by 18 points, especially running out of this third quarter, are they going to try to go for it here?
Yeah, I almost think you would. Kind of funny with 3rd and short like that. Why would you go super deep? You know what I mean? You've had open, flat passes all night long, and you know, again, just seeing that end zone and wanting to be there.
Wolcott dropping and throwing right. The ball was tipped on the line, and that might have actually helped the Black Knights out as it went into the waning arms of Jack Beatty on that right side.
Boy, Jack was up there. That was a duck waiting to be picked off, and he jumped right up and was able to get that on that tip-off, which was key.
So the Black Knights convert on that 4th down and set up here. The 1st and 10 at the Maine Endwell 40-yard line.
You know, we saw it with last week's game, what Shenango Valley did in a very small amount of time. Windsor still has time in this game, but they got to make things count.
Wolcott, deep pass up the middle, intended for David Flora. And it looks like it was a good pass. It looked like it went through his hands and hit his helmet and bounced up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good bullet, boy, right in the seam. And, you know, David just couldn't get it in, and not without great effort. I mean, he was running for it, and he had the hands out. Just couldn't reel it in.
So a 2nd down and 10 here for the Knights at the Maine Endwell 40. Again, Wolcott in shotgun formation. Rolling out to the right, throwing, and the ball is complete to Kieran Horton, making a move on a defender and getting to the 14, now 12-yard line as his helmet came off. He's hobbling off a little bit. Hopefully he's all right. And, of course, if your helmet comes off, you have to come out for the next play.
Yeah, he got that reception, and he turned and knew he had to turn on the jets to get as many yards as he could. And here's kind of where Windsor's struggled a little bit other than the first series. Now they're down in that red zone right around that 10-yard line. And, you know, are we going to go through, you know, a multitude of 4 downs and get 6 or settle for 3? And at this point, you know, it needs to be 6.
So that play will end this 3rd quarter as both teams go to the sidelines, and we'll be back as soon as that 4th quarter starts. We are back after that 3rd quarter ended as Wolcott takes the ball and stays on his feet and works his way for close to a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
Driving and grinding, trying to get back into this ball game.
So it's going to be a 2nd down and 2 here for the Knights. And the 1st down marker is inside the 5, so it worse, they don't score a touchdown, they'll at least get a first down, get a couple more downs. Wolcott, shotgun, takes it up himself and wrapped up immediately and loses a yard, and he'll set up a 3rd and 3. Like we said before, they do not have to score a touchdown to get a first down in a new set of downs here. They only need 3 here.
Yeah, and it's so tough to wanna settle for 3 to get to this point. Testament to a great, strong ME defense here.
Wolcott looking right and thrown right to Kieran Horton. Wolcott was definitely pressured on that play, and the pass was close, but not close enough for Horton to make the play on the ball. So it's going to be a 4th down here, and I don't know if Windsor is going to go for this field goal or if they're going to go for it. We'll see how they line up here.
Right.
And it looks like they're just going to settle for the 3 points here.
Take what points you can, and
so Horton's field goal is up and blocked at the line. So not even the field goal can go right here for the Black Knights. So the Windsor Black Knights again get into the red zone but can't convert. And it'll give the ball right back to the Maine Endwell offense.
yeah, that's one of those situations. I don't even know what to say. You know, good series, get down there in that red zone. Got to try to put some points on the board. You know, good decision, because probably the best decision. Got to get the snap right. Just got blocked. Testament to the defense.
So the Maine Endwell offense will come out here at their own 20-yard line as we have some substitutions. Players coming on the field for Maine Endwell. Mancini under center. Takes it himself. And the ball is out, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Black Knights initially, but we'll see. And it is recovered by the Black Knights, so second life here for the Knights.
Second life. Couple of people on the field getting fired up. They're starting to wake up. It comes down to the good old saying, Hunter, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Again, the score 28-10. Got about 10 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock in this last quarter.
Well, like we discussed before, Windsor offensively is doing a lot better when they're just outside the red zone. They almost need to make the play and run into the end zone to have a chance.
Wolcott throwing deep to the right to a wide open Horton.
Oh,
and that
man.
ball is thrown decently, but just out of the range of Horton. Was wide open on that play.
Wide open. Defender was with him. Horton made a quick cut to the outside, and there was nobody around him.
So we'll set up a 2nd down and 10 at the Maine Endwell 27-yard line.
He was going to be quite close to the sideline on that one, so even if it was a reception, it might have been difficult to get in the end zone.
Wolcott shotgun. Looking left and taking off himself, and he's going to be wrapped up for a loss. Big loss for the Black Knights on that play.
Oh, yeah.
Going to set up a 3rd and long here. Maybe a 3rd and 17 for the Knights at the Maine Endwell 33-yard line.
Yeah, Emmy came out through there almost like they blitzed. They blew through that offensive line like there was no tomorrow and saw Wolcott with that ball, and they were going to get on it, and that's all there was to it.
So we'll see what the Black Knights do here. As Wolcott again in shotgun, receiver off to his left and right. Throw in left, caught by Tyrone Franklin, and the ball was ripped out of his hands and taken by Maine Endwell. That was stripped by Michael Mancini, and the ball never touched the ground, but it was transferred from Franklin to Mancini, and Maine Endwell will have the ball. Wouldn't have been enough for the first down, but still it's a turnover.
Yep.
Definitely not what the Knights wanted to do.
Nope.
So now the Maine Endwell offense will take over at the 23-yard line.
9:27 left in the ball game. Score 28 ME over Windsor with 10.
Mancini again under center. Hands off to the left side and wrapped up immediately by the Black Knight defense.
Looks like that
Good
was
play.
going to be Cameron Reed, I believe, on that tackle.
You are correct. I believe that was number 78. That is Cameron Reed. Good play there. Got wrapped up at about the close to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to give him about a half yard on there, so it'll set up a 2nd down and 9. As they break out of the huddle. Mancini with a receiver to both his left and right side. Takes it himself. Option play.
There's that option
And
again.
Getting thrown out of bounds at the 30-yard line for a gain of about 6 on that play. Set up a 3rd and 4 for the Spartans here.
Amazement with that option and that block, how a quarterback can pitch behind them and still get positive yards out of it.
So 3rd and 3 here for the Spartans. Again at the 30-yard line.
And Spartans doing what they do best. They're just moving the ball and chewing up the clock.
Mancini again under center, motion off to his left as we have a timeout here. It's going to be taken against Maine Endwell. So Maine Endwell with their first timeout of the second half, and we'll be back as soon as the timeout is over. And we are back after the timeout as Mancini and the offense for the Spartans come out. And this time he is in shotgun. Motion initially off to his left and goes back. Mancini looking left, short pass to the left. Got some defenders over there and tackled for a loss of about 1. And they'll set up a 4th down and 5.
Okay, Hunter. So, first of all, thanks for having me.
Yep, no problem.
You want me to
Introducing,
allow myself to
Chris.
introduce myself?
Chris Cabello joining me here in place of my father. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your background with announcing?
Well, I'm a Leo. I like to cuddle. And it's been a long time since I've called high school football, but good to be back in the saddle here. So Emmy, who trusts their defense, will punt on 4th down.
High kick, and the ball's going to bounce. Take a favorable bounce for the Spartans, and it'll be downed at the 28-yard line.
Well, it looked like the punt returners on that play a little gun shy maybe, and probably could have had a fair catch around the 38-yard line. Instead let it roll, so probably lost 10 yards on that punt return, and now you have an injured Black Knight. Looks like Jack Beatty.
So we will take a quick timeout. Hopefully it'll be all right. Or never mind, we won't be taking that timeout because he manages to get up on his feet, get some help, working his way to the sideline. Doesn't look to be too good, but thankfully he's able to make his way off to the sideline with some help.
Well, Jack, the junior receiver, defensive back, who I think has had some problems with injuries earlier this year as well, but that he looks like to be in some pain here. Hopefully he's okay. But tough kid. Watched him play football and basketball a long time. We'll see if he can regain his balance here and see if he can get back in this ball game. But for Windsor now, trailing by 18 still here in the fourth quarter, it behooves them to move the ball quickly, get some more points on the board.
Exactly. And the Black Knights have been doing a good job moving this ball. It's just as soon as they get into that red zone, everything just seems to stop. As Wolcott dropping back, looking to throw deep and rolls out to the left and almost throws a pick there. Intended for Kieran Horton. Play made by number 31, Riley Van Fleet, to bat that ball away.
And a penalty flag on the play as well, it looks like, back near the 20-yard line. And Wolcott, though, as Kevin was talking about earlier, rolling out to his left as a quarterback, as a right-handed quarterback, that's a really difficult throw to make, and especially if you try to make it across your body towards the middle of the field. That time you tried to throw an out pattern, but the defensive back for Maine Endwell was playing well enough to knock it away from Horton that time. Now, if he could go up the middle, if he could have seen up the middle that time, Eric Hunsinger was wide open about the 45-yard line. But
So
a big penalty against the Knights. Sorry, go ahead, Hunter.
Oh, no, you're good. So after that penalty, you'll set the Black Knights up here at the 10-yard line. Be a first and long ways to go here, as Wolcott just decides to hand it up the middle and making his way for a big chunk back. See who that is? That's Brady Weingartner on the carry. Makes his way to make it a second down and I believe 17 here.
Yeah, about 10 yards in that pickup. Makes it a little bit more manageable now. It's not going to be second and forever. It's about second and 20 or so. And they've shown they could pick up yardage, and good to see Jack Beatty out there.
So Wolcott here in the shotgun. Gets the snap and rolling off to the left, throwing deep left, kind of flicked it out of his hands, and going up for the catch was David Flora. Nearly made that catch, jumping over two Maine Endwell defenders. So that pass that time rolling off to his left was a little bit better.
Yeah, Flora had about half a step on the two defensive backs, but it was a bit of a jump ball, so they had three guys going up for it that time. And Flora might have had the best shot out of the three to come up with the ball that time, but just could not reel it in. And that's been a few times here, at least in the second half, where a pass to Flora has been just out of reach and knocked away by a Spartan defender.
So third long here for the Black Knights as they come out from the huddle. Two receivers to his right and one to his left is Wolcott as he rolls out to the right, looking to throw deep, and Kieran Horton is wide open and makes the catch. I say wide open, but he had a defender up on him, and
He did, but great adjustment for the ball as he was looking inside that time, and Wolcott kind of floated it to the outside towards the sideline. And again, one of the toughest things for a receiver to do on a rollout pass like that is to turn around, because you lose sight of the ball for an instant. So he turns to his outside and sees the ball come over his right shoulder, makes a great catch, and a big first down for the Knights. They needed that on third and long.
So the Black Knights, after that huge reception, set up here at the Maine Endwell 49-yard line, as Wilka has 3 receivers to his left, 1 on the right, Weingartner behind, as he hands off to Weingartner and getting stopped by that defensive line of Maine Endwell. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe loses a half a yard. They're going to mark him as losing about half a yard there. He'll set up a second down and about 10.
So it's one of those where there's no positive yards on that play, and I know it doesn't look good when it's 2nd and 10, but it keeps the defense honest. They know that it's just not pass, pass, pass. They know that the run is still a viable option for Windsor, and you just have to loosen up those defensive backs and make those linebackers hesitate just for a second so you can give Wolcott a chance.
Wolcott rolling out to his left, throwing deep left to Zach Adornato, and that ball is picked off. Making his way to the 30, 25, and taken down at the 39-yard line. That was number 44, Josh Chandler, on that interception. And it looked like Wolcott was thrown into triple coverage there. At least that's what it looked like. And ball not exactly the best pass in the world, and that ball was easily intercepted there.
Now again, he's rolling out to his left, and he's trying to throw across his body to the middle of the field. Adornato had a couple of steps on the defensive back, but because the ball isn't thrown with some velocity and some speed to it, it hangs up with just enough where that defensive back, who was playing deep anyhow, was able to make the play.
So Mancini hands off to the left and breaking some tackles and staying on his feet, making his way to the 31-yard line here in Black Knight territory. I believe that was number 27. No, maybe not Michael Mancini on that play. 37 it was. That was Michael Smith on that carry.
So just like that, 30 yards down to the 30-yard line.
I think that's a 30 for 30.
Oh.
And Mancini hands off to the right side, has wide open, working his way to the sideline and getting tackled at the 16, 17-yard line. That again was number 37, Michael Smith, on that carry. And sets up another first down for the Spartans. The Spartans not taking any time. They want to score some points here, make this game more of a blowout.
And hey, I mean, after all, we know ME athletes are no strangers to 30 for 30.
That is true. They're world beaters. But they also know how to play football, and they played it well for a long time. So it's always a tough opponent when you play these guys for Windsor.
Mancini hands off to the right side. Tackled, but not before he gets about 8 yards on that play, as we have another Windsor Black Knight down. That looks to be David Flora. That was, I believe, again, number 37, Michael Smith, on that carry. And like you said, David Flora down with an injury. And we're going to take a quick timeout here. And we'll be back as soon as he gets back up on his feet. And we're back as David Flora looked to be able to get up under his own power off to the sideline, making his way to the bench. So, of course, that's always good to see. But back to this game, the Maine Endwell Spartans are threatening here to score again with a 2nd down and 2 at the 10-yard line of Windsor.
They'll power I this time, lead fullback.
Mancini hands off to the left and working his way into the
Here goes Smith again.
yeah.
Yep.
Smith getting to the 4-yard line, I believe. Set up a 1st and goal here at the 4 for the Spartans.
And they're in no hurry. They have an 18-point lead. It'll go under 3 minutes here and just a second left in the game. I'm sure they're plenty satisfied to take their time if they can run this down as much as possible. And with 1st and goal, they're not in any hurry to put more points on the board.
Mancini to receiver out to his left as we have a flag on the play. And we'll see who this is on.
It'll be on ME.
Yeah, they're going to call it against ME. Offsides. So, and yep, offsides against Maine Endwell, so that'll back them up a couple yards here. Getting to about the 9-yard line. So 1st and goal at the 9 now for the Spartans.
So while we have a second here, if he's listening, Devin Truman, hope you're feeling better. Had surgery on his knee today, the senior for Windsor. And so wish him all the best.
Yes, we do.
Maine Endwell breaking out of the huddle. Mancini under center as per usual. Motion off to his left and hands off to the right. Jumping off of defenders and making his way back to the line of scrimmage. Looks to be, we'll see if we can get a number here. Don't believe it's Smith again.
That's 26, whoever's number 26 was the ball
26.
carrier. But give credit to James Barnes that time, the linebacker for the Black Knights. He initially at least slowed down ME on that play before the defenders were able to come up and stop him for no gain.
That was Lance Gulliver on that carry there for the Spartans. Again, setting up a 2nd down and goal at the 9. Trying to score here with a minute 32 left on the clock as Mancini does again what he has done previously in this game. Gives it off to that running back and doesn't really want to
let it go.
He kind of, doesn't really want to let it go.
So it's the old triple option that my partner to the left here is very familiar with, he and I. It's basically a play. It's very simple. The quarterback is given the freedom to either hand it off to the fullback up the middle if the tackle doesn't shoot the gap, or he keeps it himself, and pitches it to the running back. And Mancini waits until the last possible second. Great play that time.
Great play by Noe Yadlowski there, wrapping up with a loss of a couple there. It's a toss out to the left side. I believe again to Michael Smith, but couldn't get around the edge as Noe Yadlowski was waiting for him.
Yeah, Yadlowski just blew up the blocker that time and made a fantastic tackle in the open field. I'll tell you what, Yadlowski, he is not the biggest defender on the field, not even by a long shot, but there may not be one who is more energetic than Noah, that's for sure.
And he's made some key plays tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And that play will run down the clock and end this game as the players exchange handshakes here. And the final score will read 28-10 as the Black Knights fall to 2-5. And the Maine Endwell Spartans stay undefeated at 7-0. I believe the next game for the Black Knights will be at Oneonta, and we'll try our best to cover that game if we can.
And it'll be the Black Knights' last opportunity for a W here. It would have been so nice to be able to see them get an upset here and a win next week in Oneonta. It would have kind of almost put them at 500 going into playoffs, you know.
Mm-hmm. Maine Endwell, on the other hand, I think they have a pretty big game next week as well, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So
yes,
you have number 1 versus number 3 in the state coming up next week as Maine Endwell and Shenango Forks face off, and you guys have seen both teams play. Who do you think would win that game?
Yeah, I mean, to start off, I would have to go with Forks. I mean, Emmy played strong tonight, but, Forks is just a powerhouse of discipline and focus. And their running game is spot on. I mean, Windsor's defense, even with injuries, was able to stop the run game here for Emmy tonight for the most part. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Forks. I just don't know if they're going to be able to. It's going to be one great game, and anything's possible, but I'm going with Forks on that one.
Yeah, and Windsor, on the other hand, will face Oneonta, who's had a tough season this year. I would imagine they would probably be favored in that game if you were to be an awkward high school betting man.
Well, hey, look, I had to go back to the comment you were talking about the triple option. I mean, look, I can't blame those running backs. As a former running back myself, I never wanted to give up on that ball once it put. It was almost like a tease. Like, you can't give me that ball and take it away from me.
Sorry? Sorry about that.
Well, the good news is, man, you always generally let me have it, so
That's
I appreciated it.
That's true. Well, Hunter, listen, we appreciate you letting us come up here with you tonight.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. You guys were a great part of this broadcast, and I think that'll about do it for us up here. So,
well, hold it, Hunter. We got to put. I'm sure these people don't want to listen to us older guys. They want to hear students, and that's what I want to kind of put out here is for the broadcasting club for Windsor. I mean, if you're interested in doing this and you like what you're hearing and you want to get up here in the box and do this and be part of this entertainment, you need to get in touch with Mr. Simmons and tell him, hey, I have an interest in broadcasting club. I want to do play-by-play, whether it's football, soccer, basketball. Let him know that you have an interest in this, and we'll try to get you right in here.
All right, that'll do it for us. Thank you for listening in and watching for our Facebook Live viewers, and we hope to see you next week.
Take
Goodbye.
care. Have a great weekend.
Bye.